Welcome in, Hawks Nation. It's finally here. We've been waiting for Friday night for about a week now. I am A-Bomb. We are going to do live reaction for the Atlanta Hawks versus the New York Knicks. This is the third game of this best of 5 series. And right now, the Hawks and the Knicks are tied at 1 apiece. This was originally supposed to be a Braves and Hawks dual live stream. But unfortunately, the game between the Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets has been postponed due to rain. And so that leaves us with only one of those 2 games, but we're going to do our best, do the best we can to react and discuss this game as it goes along. Knicks and Hawks split the first 2 games up in New York. Trae Young had that winning shot on Sunday night at the end of the first game. In the second game, the Hawks had a 16-point lead at one point, but could not hold the lead. And the Knicks came back in that one late after they put together a monster run. It would have been nice if the Hawks could have won both of those. We were kind of close to that, right? I mean, it looked like that was the way it was going to work out at first. And then the wheels came off, and the Knicks came back and won the game. This game is available on ESPN. It is also available on Bally Sports South. So what that means is that you can either watch the ESPN guys or you can watch Bob Rathbun and Dominique Wilkins. Pick your poison. Let's see if we can get you some starting lineups for this contest. This game is advertised as being a 7 p.m. tip. But it's 7:13 and we still haven't gotten this thing underway. Gibby is in. All right. It's been a few days, man. I know YouTube's really weird about the way those notifications work. It seems to kind of be a random thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll find those starting lineups in just a bit, but let's run down some Major League Baseball action. Especially, we'll check on the NL East. 2 of the teams, of course, were rained out at least, and that's the Braves and the Mets. I do see that Miami and Boston are just underway from Fenway. That one is scoreless. So we'll pull for the Red Sox tonight. And then what about Washington? Did they get rained out again too? What did the Nationals do today? Now we've got the full scoreboard up. And we see that the Nationals game has also been postponed. Brewers at Nats postponed. So a bunch of rainouts today across the Northeast. And the same thing happened a couple of days ago. It's a shame that this Braves game had to have gotten rained out tonight, man. It was going to be fun watching both of these games unfold. But we'll just have to do with the basketball. We'll have to deal with that. And hopefully we win this game. And it looks like we're finally getting ready to tip this thing off. You probably heard that Trae Young got spit on by some fool up in New York he was talking about it in an interview before the game and how disgusting that was. I agree, man. So hopefully he's still got that grudge going and he takes it out on the Knicks. And we're finally underway, and Trae Young put up a shot, but I think it was after a whistle. Again, we were hoping for a baseball live reaction tonight. It didn't work out that way. But since Sports Live in the ATL said he had to work tonight, I figured, you know what? I'm going to try doing a Hawks live reaction. And we'll see how it goes. If there's anything you want to hit on, make sure you bring it up in the dugout, or in this case, the sideline. We will check your weather forecast and see what's going on this weekend. It's a long weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. So congratulations to all you working stiffs. We've got a few days off. And it's been happy hour officially for about the last 2 hours. The Hawks have a 2-0 lead. And man, there are not a lot of fans. They were talking about how they were expecting a full house tonight. What's up with that? And by the way, we've got some delay in this game. I think maybe some equipment is malfunctioning, like the shot clock. All right, finally we are back to basketball. We had about a 5-minute delay due to some malfunctioning equipment. I think it was the shot clock. Now they've got it going. And the Knicks have the ball. Put up a shot. It is no good. Hawks come away with it. We're efforting Bone Crusher. And we're definitely going to be talking some baseball while this basketball game is in progress. And speaking of that, not sure if you heard this, but there is new word on Mike Soroka, the Braves starting pitcher, and that word is not what we were wanting to hear. It looks like he will not be back to pitch this year. It looks like his season is toast. Official word on that will be coming next week from the Braves. There's another NBA game starting in about an hour and a half. That's Brooklyn at Boston. Brooklyn has a 2-0 lead as the series shifts to Beantown. And then at 9:30, the Clippers at the Mavericks. Dallas has a 2-0 lead in that series. We've got Mark Davis and Doris Burke on the call on ESPN. And as mentioned, if you're in the Southeast, you can watch the game on Bally Sports South and get the local guys, Dominique Wilkins and Bob Rathbun. And man, they still can't get this clock right. It says there's 99 minutes left in the quarter. What the hell's up with all this? They can't keep the clock working. Man, what a shame. We've wasted a good 5 minutes just with this clock problem. And during all this timeout action, the two teams are jawing at each other. It's getting a little heated down there. And that's what happens sometimes when the game stops for no reason. Now we're back. Trae Young takes a shot and misses. Trae Young dribbling. Dishes it out. John Collins for three. Did that hit the rim? Not sure. Looked like an air ball to me. Still 2-0. Again, we are efforting Bone Crusher. We hope to see him soon. Bogdanovich misses. And the ball goes the other way to New York. And there is a foul committed by John Collins. Still 2-0. 2 minutes gone by on game time, but it's been about 10 minutes since the quarter started. New York takes it inside, misses the shot, but it looks like there is a foul, and we've got Gurr in the house. Welcome in, Gurr. This was supposed to be a Braves / Hawks reaction, with the main focus being on the Braves, but that game has been rained out, unfortunately, so we're relegated to talking about the Hawks. We will definitely run down some scores from the Major League Baseball scoreboard. This update brought to you by WaffleHouse.com. How do you like your hash browns? And we'll start in Boston, where we're just underway at Fenway. Marlins and Sox scoreless, headed to the bottom of the first. Also just underway, the Yankees and the Tigers. Also underway, Blue Jays at Indians. Then we've got some more games coming up later tonight. And we already have one final in. The Cubbies shut out the Reds. 1-0 was your final from Wrigley.
Proven perform.
Bogdanovich shoots, misses, and the ball goes the other way. New York with it. We're tied at 2. We've had some problems getting the clock working properly, but it looks like that's been taken care of finally. And New York goes up 4-2. Collins misses it. Fast break. And a three-pointer from the corner for New York, and it's no good. Trae Young lays it up and in. Nice move. It was a left-handed shot. First two of the night for Trae Young. Atlanta 2 for 7 shooting early. And there's a putback by the Knicks. And they go up 6-4. Count it. Count it, and it goes. So that was Trae Young. He's going to go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. His hair has been a big subject on Sports Talk Radio this week. And he misses the free throw, by the way. So it's tied up at 6 with 8.5 to go. Trae Young has a little bit of a hair challenge. It's kind of mangy. It's kind of falling out. And the New York Knicks fans kept chanting something about, Trae, you're balding. Or, I think it was, Trae, you're balding. And that went on for a long time. People have been calling into Sports Talk Radio about it. And I never noticed it before, but I did have a good look at his lettuce, and, there's definitely something going on there. You kind of feel for the guy. He's only, 22? but it's not slowing him down. He has hit 30 in his first 2 NBA playoff games. And that is some kind of record, at least an Atlanta record. 30 points in your first 2 NBA playoff games. Welcome in, Smalls. Good to see you. Yeah, man, and I hate that it got canceled. This is, the basketball game, it's okay, but it wouldn't have been as cool as having both games going on at the exact same time. Bogdanovich draws a foul for Atlanta. Series tied at 1. This is the first game of series in Atlanta. And jumper goes for the Hawks. It's tied up at 8. Bone Crusher is in. Thanks for joining us. We're all really bummed out that the Braves game got rained out. Hopefully the Hawks can win this game. That will make up for it. And it was going to be New York versus Atlanta in both battles. The game, by the way, that got postponed tonight between the Braves and the Mets will be made up in July. Game 2 tomorrow night at 7:15. Hopefully that game gets played, and if it does, Bone Crusher has that one on his YouTube channel. You see him here in our dugout. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. And Crusher, I'm not sure if you're watching, but check out this mug I've got. This is an old mug. I've had this since about 96. And you saw the logo Q106, Middle Georgia's home of rock and roll. And your exclusive home for the Q106 six-pack. And it looks like we might have a timeout. Is that right? So, yes, we do have a break in the action. I'm A-Bomb. I'm going to step aside for just a moment, and we'll be right back to continue this nonstop party and the Hawks and the Knicks game. Straight ahead. right, we are back. State Farm Arena in downtown Atlanta is the site of tonight's action. And let's see when the next game is. Out of the timeout, and New York has it. Out for three. That's short. Atlanta rebounds. Next game, Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock. From Atlanta and broadcast on ABC. Foul on the Knicks. We've got 5:28 remaining in the first period. Hawks side out of bounds. Trae Young dribbling. Over to Kevin Huerter. Dribbles around and passes it off. And as the shot clock expires, Gallinari hits a three. Atlanta up 17-15. 5:04 left. First quarter. And there's a steal by the Hawks. And it's Gallinari again. He's the one with the mohawk. Trae Young from way downtown from Gainesville, but he missed that one. Knicks with it. Dribbling around and loses the handle. Loses out of bounds, and it's going to be Hawks ball, I think. Hold everything, though. So, Crusher, what's going on down in Northwest Florida tonight? I'll probably check your forecast, your 3-day forecast. I'll do that as well as the Metro Atlanta 3-day forecast. So stay tuned for that. That's become a really popular segment in my live streams. Derrick Rose takes inside. There's some contact, another whistle. And I believe that one is on the Hawks. Are you wondering what's going on in the NHL tonight? We do have a game. There is a game between the Minnesota Wild and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. That is a 9 o'clock face-off on NBCSN from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. That series, by the way, is tied at 3 each, so it is a Game 7 tonight. Man, I might have to live react to that. I've never done a hockey live reaction. I have done, of course, basketball, baseball, football, and soccer. That would be quite an accomplishment to add hockey to that list. To my YouTube resume. Knicks drop one in. And it's 2019. Hawks up by 1. There's a wide open three for Atlanta. It is no good, but Kevin Huerter grabs the rebound, puts it back up, no good. And New York comes away with it. Appreciate all our viewers. It looks like we've got at least 3 people joining us right now. We do appreciate your viewership. Gallinari with it. Turnaround jumper is no good. Rebound goes to the New York Knicks. So, we're going to have a quick timeout. We will step aside. Right now, it's Atlanta 20 and New York 19 in the first quarter. Be right back. Kevin Herter commits a flagrant 1. out of bounds, and ball to Atlanta. Yeah, it's hard to believe the Hawks are in. You're right about that. They had a horrible start to the year. Fired the head coach mid-season, and Trae Young puts it up for three, and that one goes. That was a long one. Atlanta up 24-21. Coach gets fired mid-season. Interim guy is named, Nate McMillan, and all he's done is won. And is expected to get the regular gig. Shot clock at 5 for New York. Off the backboard, did not grab rim. And it looks like a shot clock violation. What's up, Fast Sports? That was a shot clock violation. That one that went off the backboard did not grab any iron. And so the shot clock did not reset. Cincinnati crew is in. All right, good to see the Natty representing again tonight. This is a big Natty house, in case you were not aware. And we have been a Cincinnati house the entire time I've been on this YouTube run, which is a couple of years. We did report a final score earlier tonight, and it's unfortunate for our Cincinnati friends because the Cubbies shut them out 1-0. So minute 38 remaining in this first quarter. We're in the playoffs. It's Atlanta 24, New York 21. So ever since we brought in this interim coach, Nate McMillan, we've been on some kind of roll. I mean, it was night and day between Lloyd Pierce, the coach that got canned, and then the interim guy, Nate McMillan, who has had previous NBA coaching experience, by the way. Most people would recognize that name. New York for three, but they get blocked. Gets the rebound, or whatever you call it, after the block, and then another shot didn't go, and another shot clock violation for the Knicks. That's the second this quarter. The Marlins have a 2-0 lead on Boston now. And another three for Atlanta. 27-21 Hawks. A minute to go in this quarter. Atlanta 4 for 8 from downtown. Missed jump shot from New York. Trae Young gets rebound, dribbles up court, over to Gallinari, who puts up a bad shot. It does not go. And a whistle. We'll see what that was. Oh, do I have some music going? All right. Did not realize that. Thanks for the reminder. That was not designed to be playing the whole time I've been talking here. In case you're wondering, I cannot hear that audio. I would need to be wearing headphones to know that that music was playing. And so New York is at the free throw line. Braves-Mets game has been postponed. A makeup date is going to be announced. We know it's July. Game still on for tomorrow night. We talked about the breaking news. Bone Crusher announced he will be doing tomorrow night's game. And we're down to 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Hawks up by 4 with the ball. We'll have the Jim Rome show coming up at halftime from earlier today. The Knicks have the ball now, and there's about a 4-second difference in the two clocks. And now we've got a whistle. That is a foul against Atlanta. It looks like Gallinari is the guilty party. Crusher bringing some Wall Street knowledge in here today. Check that out. AMC news. Dogecoin news. And a complete weekly crypto wrap-up on tomorrow night's broadcast. Along with all the exciting Braves versus Mets play-by-play action from Citi Field in New York. AMC closed today at 25.38. And both free throws go for New York. So Hawks are up by 2. 14 seconds left. Shot clock is off. And then New York gets rung up for a foul. With like just 10 seconds remaining. That was Bullock. And so Trae Young is going to shoot 2. The best free throw shooter on this Hawks roster. Trae with 8 points here in the first quarter. Now he has 9 points. He hit both free throws. 10 seconds left. New York with the ball. Let's see what they can do. They're going to try a 3 from the corner. It does not go, but damn it, foul on Atlanta with 1 second left. And by the way, it's going to be 3 free throws. Crusher says he might call it Shea Stadium. Only problem with that, Shea Stadium has been demolished. And the first free throw is good. It's pretty much the same deal as all the other places. It's being used as a parking lot for the new place. I think that's how it goes. From Flushing, New York. Yes, that is the city where the Mets play. Or the borough, or whatever you call it, the district. And so, what do we have here? I mean, this last 10 seconds is taking an eternity with all the fouls and everything, and it's not even like the end of the game or quarter. You know, it's not like they're trying to foul, you know, in a blowout situation, the end of a game. And it's going to be New York ball with 1.1. Oh, don't tell me that counts. So with 1.1 seconds left, the Knicks managed to get an inbounds pass and a three-pointer that goes. That bites. And the score after one quarter is... Oh, man, they don't even show it. Okay, well, it's on my scoreboard. Hawks up by 1, 29-28 over the Knicks, and we will be back for the second quarter right after this. right, Bone Crusher has it synced up. That's how you gotta roll with this thing. If you're really into the radio on steroids, or if you want to use it for that second or third screen, this is tailor-made for all of that. So we are back. It is now the second quarter, and the Knicks are now ahead, and they have the ball. They are working their half-court game from way downtown. That is no good. And Kevin Huerter grabs the long rebound. And now we got a whistle. That is going to be a New York Knicks foul. A quick scoreboard check will be coming your way shortly. And there is a three-pointer that goes. Gallinari. He has 9 points. He is 3 for 3 from 3. New York with it. And again, they're working their half-court game over to Butler. He launches an air ball that lands out of bounds. And that's going to be Hawks' ball. New York 2 for 10. Atlanta 5 for 10 from 3. And there is a nice floater in the lane that goes for Atlanta. That was Lou Williams. Looking forward to getting on the grill tomorrow for Memorial Day weekend. And we've got a Hawks foul this time. That looks like it was on Gallinari. So we've got free throw attempt, and it's no good. And the Hawks get the rebound and take it the other way. We're down by a point. Williams loses it out of bounds. Call it a travel, actually, on Atlanta. The rare NBA traveling call. So the turnover gives the ball to the Knicks. And they miss their shot. Atlanta gets the rebound. The Knicks have totally changed up their uniforms. I don't know how long ago that happened, but they do not look like they don't resemble what I remember, the classic Knicks uniforms from the early 90s, for instance. There's a three from New York, no good. But a Knick gets the rebound. His shot misses, and the Hawks come the other way with it, with Gallinari. And ball out of bounds. I think one of our Hawks players dribbled it off his own foot, out of bounds to the Knicks. Three in the house. make sure to jam that like button. Subscribe. If we can pick up just maybe one subscriber tonight, I would consider that a victory. We're on the march to 1,000. We expect to get there around the year 2030. And at that time, I can start earning money, get monetized up in here. Atlanta with it. Lou Williams with an off-balance jumper, and it goes. And the Hawks take the lead, 36-35. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half of this basketball game from Atlanta. State Farm Arena is where we are tonight. Formerly Phillips Arena. About 2 years ago, the arena underwent a major overhaul, and in the process came away with a new name. It went from one corporate name to another. Phillips Arena to State Farm Arena. And of course, if you're old enough, you remember the Omni. That was where the Hawks played in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And New York's at the free throw line. Nerlens Noel, he has 7 on the night, and he's 7 for 7 from the charity stripe. All of his points have come from there. He does miss the second, however, and we're tied at 36. Hawks with it. Fans don't miss wiper fluid night at State Farm Arena. The first 1,000 Hawks fans through the gates receive a free gallon of wiper fluid from our friends at AutoZone. And Hawks side out of bounds. We'll get the ball in. And we've got a jump shot that goes in and out, and rebound to the Knicks. We'll get you the Jim Rome show from earlier today. That's coming up at halftime. Knicks take the lead. It's 39-36. Williams with a nice floater in the lane. That goes. Back to a 1-point game. And we're just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. And it looks like we've got a timeout. So we'll step aside for that. Be right back with you. More Coast to Coast featuring the Hawks and Knicks as soon as we get right back. I've noticed that the commercial breaks seem to last forever in the playoffs. They add like an extra maybe 1 minute of commercials for each break. We are back. Hawks and Knicks from Atlanta. Knicks up 39-38. We've got 6:44 left in the first half. Series tied at 1. Same two teams Sunday, 1 o'clock tip. That game will be broadcast on ABC. We've got a whistle and an offensive foul on the Knicks and another turnover for the Knickerbockers. And an interesting twist on the Mike Soroka story. If you recall, earlier this evening, I reported that Soroka is expected to miss the remainder of the season. But there's a story out on ESPN that says a little bit otherwise. It says that manager Brian Snicker says Soroka will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. And this is all because of a torn right Achilles. And that was when? When did he tear his Achilles? Well, it was last year. We'll just leave it at that. So, I guess we've still got some, hope. Maybe there's a little bit of hope he can come back into the lineup. Keckerman is in from Mobile, Alabama. Welcome in on a Friday night. I am stoked about the Memorial Day weekend. I don't have to be back at work till Tuesday. Hawks with the ball. Down by 1. And Trae Young passes it off. Bogdanovich. Back to Trae Young from way downtown, and it goes. That was from Gwinnett County, where I am. That's how far away that free throw was. Trae Young with 12 points, and he's 2 for 4 from behind the arc. Hawks up by 2. Knicks missed their shot, and the Hawks come away with it. Looking forward to some grilling going on tomorrow, Kecker. And nice alley-oop, by the way. And John Collins on the receiving end is the one that slams it home. 43-39 Atlanta. Hawks on a 7-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. And they come away with the rebound once again. 4.5 minutes to go in the half. John Collins from downtown doesn't go, but the putback does. And the Hawks are up 45-39. 9-0 run for Atlanta. And the Knicks have seen enough. And Mike Thibodeau is going to call a timeout and to try to gather his troops and stop the bleeding. We'll be right back. It's Atlanta 41, Knicks 39. these commercial breaks, though, going on for like 5 minutes, it feels like, each time. Each time they have a timeout, they use an excuse, I guess since we're in the playoffs, to add extra. So we're still waiting for everybody to get back on the floor. We're watching Lily from AT&T. Anybody noticed on, like on Twitter, you're always seeing these clickbait ads with Lily from AT&T, but not as Lily, just like herself in real life. Lily in a bathing suit. Lily in some kind of low-cut blouse showing off her cleavage. I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong. Still waiting to get this game back underway, man. I'm going to complain about these ridiculous commercial breaks. And finally, we're ready to go. And the Knicks have it. Knicks are trailing by 6 after the Hawks put up a 9-0 run. And we're still on it. Not anymore. There's a 3 from the New York Knicks, and they have officially stopped the bleeding. Hawks still up by 3. Atlanta shooting 49% overall. And we've got 3 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the first half. John Collins from the corner for 3. 48-42 Hawks. Hawks looking to go up 2-1 in this series against the Knicks. And am I right? Is this a best of 5 or a best of 7 in this first round of the NBA playoffs? Who can tell me that down in the dugout? Meanwhile, the Knicks have a couple of offensive rebounds but cannot cash in, and the Hawks ultimately come away with it. 3-minute mark, and Trae Young drains a 12-foot jump shot. And there's a 50-piece up on the board for Atlanta. And once again, New York says, we cannot have this. We're going to call timeout and try to come up with a plan to stop Trae Young. So, hang tight. Don't know how long this commercial break is going to last, but I will be right back. Okay, we are back. We are back. Let us know what the hell is going on down in the dugout. Man, it's a little quiet. Not one of our highly attended streams like we're used to. Oh, and what a slam dunk. Who was that? And the Hawks go up by 10 with that. 16-3 run over the last 5 minutes. And I still didn't catch who jammed that one. That was a monster jam. Wow. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. Trae Young's floater misses this time. And the Knicks come away with it. And then the Hawks get it right back. 1:30 to go. Jim Rome coming up at halftime. Trae Young passes up a three. Instead, gives it to Bogdanovich, who drains it. 55-42 Hawks. 1:06 left to go. New York with it. They do not have an answer right now. Puts up a shot. Does not go. Atlanta with the rebound. They have stretched their run to 19-3. And with 44 seconds, we've got a whistle. Clippers and Mavericks coming up later tonight. And good news from Boston, they've tied it up. The Red Sox 2 and the Marlins 2. Marlins were up 2-0. That's what we want to see. Trae Young has the ball. And there's a three from Atlanta. This crowd is loving every minute of it on this 22-3 run. 25 seconds to go in the first half. And the Knicks finally get one to go. Nice layup, 20 seconds now remaining. And the shot clock is off. Hopefully Crusher is still with us. Probably having dinner right about now. It is around that time. And 6 seconds to go. Trae Young holding it, waiting for the clock to run down. And he's not able to get it off. He was not able to get off a shot at the end of the half. And so we hit halftime. And man, what a finish to the second quarter for the Hawks. We are in command of this basketball game right now. And we're going to step aside for the Jim Rome show at halftime. So we'll see you back here for the start of the third quarter.
Stand out with something tailor-made just for you. This is Alyssa Walters, CEO of BlindsGlore.com, the only mother-daughter run team who've been making custom blinds, shades, and shutters for over 20 years. We give you DIY custom designer blinds without the designer prices, delivered right to your front door. You're simply guaranteed to love your view. It's never been easier to get the custom blinds of your dreams. Order your free samples today to see for yourself at BlindsGlore.com. That's BlindsGlore.com. Your windows are waiting.
Go time on a Friday. What's going on? Welcome to the program. My name is Jim Rome. A tremendous Friday to you. It is a long holiday weekend. Let's get it. Coming to you live from the Rocket Mortgage Studios. When you need certainty in the home buying process with a loan that fits your life, Rocket can. So a long weekend, which means you are losing one day between now and the smack off. We are on the clock.
The clock.
Hit me. All right, let me lay out the show for you. Great to have you here. Hope you're having a good morning. And the show sets up like this. Telephone number is 1-800-636-8686. You want to use that number because you want to get in I gave out a golden ticket yesterday. When I started to talk about the golden ticket yesterday, there was confusion. Callers thought that I was giving out, quote, golden nuggets and tickets to games. It got really confusing. It's not confusing at all. The smack off is for the best of the best. I was giving out, we are now inside of 1 month. I'm trying to give away golden tickets. You have to play your way in. Quickly checking the big clock to my left. 28 days. 19 shows till smack off number 27. All right, with that in mind, phone number again, 1-800-636-8686. In terms of the show itself, not only is there a big head bet segment with James Kelly, it's in hour number 1. Normally, I don't get to that guy so early, except I can't wait. Kind of got my head handed to me the last week or so with NBA games, so I want to get this guy in early. James Kelly, big head bets, 940. If you believe in the head, you track this guy. 940 is the time. We're talking NBA, NHL, and more. Coming up in hour number 2, a senior NFL writer for Yahoo Sports, Charles Robinson. And in hour number 3, Chris Haynes, a senior NBA writer for Yahoo. So they'll pick us up. Alvy's got a week that was coming up on, or in hour number 3. There is an ATP in hour number 3. And a reset of episode 175 with Jay Cutler of the Jim Rome podcast. The meat came. I got a box of cuts from Jay Cutler yesterday. I put one of the steaks on the grill. It went really well. Really well. Except when I opened up the box. Jay, it's not your fault. I tried to get the box out of the box because I couldn't wait to see the presentation within the box. And I wanted to get that picture. Unfortunately, when I turned the box upside down, the lid came off and the meat went sprawling all over my kitchen floor. Oh, I was so pissed. Should have got a video of that, right? All right, let's get at it. Starting with the Lakers and the Suns. Now, hard as it is to believe, last night at Staples, the Lakers were hosting their first playoff game since 2013, looking for their first home playoff win since 2012. So, that being said, you know they were looking to put on a show, and they did just that, especially in the second half. And this series, the one that everybody was looking forward to, became spicy as hell. I love it. I mean, it always is, right? When Chris Paul shows up and starts blasting people on the package or undercutting them on rebounds. And so as not to disappoint, the point god got it going early on in game 1 with that incident involving he and LeBron. Remember when LeBron hit the floor, hit the deck, looking like he had just taken a bazooka blast? Lakers were pissed. You knew right then that Chris Paul would be a major storyline, just like he always is this time of year. This time of year, that dude generally is dragging his team, whichever team it is, into the postseason with a shot at a deep run, only to inevitably get hurt and kill any chance they have at a title. How many times have we seen that from Chris Paul? We saw it in Houston. We saw it with the Clippers, and now we're seeing it with the Suns. Just as we're seeing the same guy agitate, cheap shot, allegedly, other dudes. So again, that was game 1. Spicy as hell. Then you get to game 2. Game 2 of the cage match, and AD ripping a page from Paul's playbook and blasting Jay Crowder in the package. You know what I'm getting at is they don't like each other, which means I love the whole thing. And then that brings us to last night's game, game 3. Before I get to how badly that game ended for the Suns, let's go to the third quarter first, because that's where it all turned. That's where the Suns started to lose their poise and their composure, and it all started to unravel. It was a third quarter. That's when LA was up by 3, but then ended up by 13. Like, LeBron did not really look himself in the first half, but clearly he went into the locker room. He made some adjustments. He came out of the locker room a much different dude. And by much different, I mean much more aggressive. So did his teammates, who were feeding off that newfound aggression. Suddenly, instead of settling for shots on the perimeter, big dude finally started to get it going downhill. Finally started to attack the rack. and his teammates fed off of him flipping the switch. In other words, Operation Bully Ball was in full effect in the third quarter, and the Lakers look like the defending champs for the first time in a long time. They were aggressive, they were physical, they were getting into the paint, and they were getting into the Suns' domes, and the wreckage was easy to see. You see, Suns.
You know those 30 under 30 lists that make you feel kind of inadequate and terrible?
We are not 25. We are fortunate enough to be 77.
This is going to be the opposite of that.
I'm 72 years old.
I am 83 years old.
I am 101 years old.
I'm Max Linsky, and this is 70 Over 70, a new show from Pineapple Street Studios about how we make the most of the time we have left. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Alyssa Walters, CEO of BlindsGlore.com. When my mother launched Blinds Galore over 20 years ago, she became committed to 100% custom blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery at a price anyone could afford. For us, window coverings don't just fit the window, they fit you. It's personal. Renewing your home is about renewing yourself, and we're passionate about giving you a space you're guaranteed to love. At Blinds Galore, we've helped millions of people just like you find a custom look for their windows. We're the mother-daughter team people turn to for an easy DIY experience and designer blinds without the designer prices. Let yourself be the pro. All you have to do is take your measurements and customize online. We offer free samples so you can touch and feel your favorites right at home before you decide. If you have any questions, our experts are standing by to help you online or over the phone. As long as the sun shines, our mission is clear. We want you to love your view. Get started today by visiting BlindsGlore.com. That's BlindsGlore.com.
As promised, he is a CBS Sports senior writer. He is the host of the Pick Six podcast. He can't stand ketchup. Good friend of the program. He is Will Brinson. What's going on, Will? How are you?
Jim, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. It's good to hear your voice. Will, really quickly, before we get to your beat, the NFL, I know you follow golf really closely. I've got to get your reaction. What did you think the first time you saw that Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau video, and how many times have you watched it since?
I mean, I probably watched that first video 75 or 80 times in the first 30 minutes
right.
of it coming out. And, Jim, I was at the point where I was trying to find a way using, I didn't get there because I'm too old and I'm not good enough with technology, but I was trying to find a way to isolate the audio to see if Bryson did, in fact, whisper, "You got to line up your putt, Brooksy," on the way out. The layers to this beef between these two guys and the spillover into the match 3.0 or whatever it is, Phil Mickelson getting involved, Tom Brady roasting Bryson with Twitter memes. This is maybe the best thing to happen to golf since Tiger Woods.
Will Brinson, my guest. I was going to ask you about the dynamic, but you laid that out pretty well. So where do you come out? Are you Team Brooks or Team Bryson?
Oh, I'm Team Brooks all the way. I don't really like Bryson at all. I respect that he's changed the game the way that he has, and he found sort of a weird, hulky Moneyball beefcake kind of way to beat it, and he went and found that that inside track, and it's worked for him, and he won that U.S. Open. But Brooks, to me, as much as his disdain for the traditions of golf might rankle some, I'm a big Brooks guy. He also won me a bunch of money at the Waste Management Open, so I'm Team Brooks for life.
Same. I love Brooks. I'm definitely Team Brooks. So what do you think, really quickly? What do you think is going to happen at the Ryder Cup when the two of these guys have to be in the same room and pretty frequently? How do you think that's going to go?
Well, first of all, Jim, there's some buzz that they might pair, because you could, if you do they do the trios for the first two rounds of the U.S. Open, you can just throw Gary Woodland in the mix, and then all of a sudden you have the last three Open champs: Brooks, Bryson, Gary Woodland, and poor Gary Woodland. That's not a fun 18 for him. But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a heated rivalry that explodes at some point. And if you're running the Ryder Cup, you got to be thinking, all right, would it maybe be in our best interest to not have these guys together, or can they pony up and play well? I will say there's at least a 3% part of me that thinks it could be a conspiracy on Brooks and Bryson's part to win that $8 million prize for most talked about athlete that they're doing, the Player Legacy Fund or whatever it is.
Will Brinson showing some range. Good job, Will. Appreciate it. All right, so over the past few days, the Julio Jones trade rumors hit a new level. It seems fairly amicable. So what do you think the Falcons could get for him at this point?
The buzz is that they could get a first-round pick, and I think that's asking a little too much, Jim. Second-round pick and maybe a conditional third or, some sort of combination like that seems like a more accurate package for the Falcons to get. I would say, first of all, I don't understand why they would want to do this, given that they doubled down on Matt Ryan by renegotiating his contract and then tripled down on trying to win now by drafting Kyle Pitts. It makes me believe that, and we've seen this really with the thing with Undisputed come out where Julio said, "I'm out of there, man." It does feel like this is not so much Falcons looking for salary cap space as Julio Jones saying, "I'm done here. I want to win. I don't want to be in Atlanta any longer." And because they will get that salary cap relief, they're going to be willing to, make it work for him. I would think that some team, whether it's the Packers, 49ers, Titans, Patriots, certainly Julio has interest there. He and Cam are very close friends. That one of those teams that believes it can win big this year will be willing to take a gamble and throw a second, maybe a third in with it, or a conditional third, one that you got for later in the round. Something like that to get Julio. It does feel like it's going to happen. I would guess that it happens later rather than sooner, but certainly could be wrong if there are enough offers out there.
Will Brinson joining us. All right, Will, so if and when it happens, you, like me, like to keep an eye on what Vegas thinks of things like this. So how much does Julio, for instance, move the needle when it comes to odds? For example, if he goes to a team, how many wins could that be worth in the eyes of the betting markets? What does that look like?
That's a great question, Jim. I would say the two good examples of this would be, well, actually, I think the best example of this would be the Colts and Titans in the AFC South. So if you look at them, they are basically pretty close to a coin flip in terms of who Vegas thinks will win. Right now, Indianapolis is the favorite. Now, whether or not a 32-year-old wide receiver, albeit one who's been one of the best wide receivers in football and is a future Hall of Famer, if he goes to the Titans, for instance, and by the way, their depth chart behind A.J. Brown is Josh Reynolds and dudes you haven't heard of. If he goes to the Titans, and they could use him, I think that Vegas would flip the Titans to be the favorite. And I think you would see Vegas adjust Atlanta's win total, maybe down a half a game. It's really hard to quantify how much a guy like Julio is worth to a win total. And I think that the average fan would think, oh, he's probably worth 2 or 3 wins. No, I mean, it's not much. Really, these guys, just because of how football works and because of all the the replacement above replacement level, how many games will he play, et cetera, I would guess that it's probably worth. But I think in that case where the divisions are close, San Francisco is another example. If they land Julio, I would expect them to potentially leapfrog the Rams as the favorite in that division. Maybe not so much even because Vegas believes that to be true, but because Julio is such a big name that it could spur betting action on the various sides there. People would want to take San Francisco, and so the books would be looking to even things out there, if that explanation makes sense.
Will Brinson joining us. It does make sense. Well, I could talk to you about Julio and where he might end up for another hour or so, but I just want to jump around to a couple of other quick things. What about the NFC South? What are you expecting to see, for instance, from Sam Darnold in Carolina now that he's away from Adam Gase, the Jets' offensive line, and then everything else that comes along with the Jets? How do you think he'll do there, and do you think that he's definitely an upgrade over Teddy Bridgewater?
He is definitely an upgrade over Teddy Bridgewater in terms of ceiling. Maybe not an upgrade in terms of floor, but if I'm an NFL team, I want to upgrade my ceiling, and I'm not quite as worried about my floor. And the Panthers really, Jim, they thought they'd sort of found a value in Teddy Bridgewater, and they were just sick of him by the end of the year. They couldn't run that no-huddle offense. The 2-minute drill was just lethargic, and they were ready to move on. So this worked out for all parties. I think Darnold will be good. I still buy into the fact that this was a top-end prospect, and when you look at what the Jets put around him, I mean, it just wasn't going to work for anyone. If you swap Sam Darnold and Josh Allen, I think you're pretty much swapping,
Thank you, Jim Rome, and that audio courtesy of CBS Sports Radio. We are back. We are in the third quarter, and the Hawks are up 61-44. Just underway. Trae Young leading Atlanta with 14 points. John Collins with 12. And Hunter and Capella with 7 and 6, respectively. High score for New York is Rose. How about Derrick Rose putting in 15? He's the only Knick in double digits. Clint Capella is at the line for Atlanta. First one is no good. Hawks shooting 62.5% from downtown, 10 for 16 in the first half, shooting 54% overall. So Knicks with the ball. Offensive rebound, goes to the Knicks. They kick it out for 3. But Randall dribbles in and then gets stolen temporarily, but then back to the Knicks. There's a three-pointer, and that one goes for Randall. It's 62-49, Hawks on top. Trae Young with it. New York shooting 5 for 16 from downtown. Capella puts it in with the left hand, and the Hawks are up 15. Make sure to say hi down on the dugout. We call it the dugout because this is usually a baseball live reaction. But as you see on that scoreboard on your screen, there is no Braves game tonight. It got postponed. The game between the Braves and the Mets rained out. Will be made up in July. Hawks working their half-court set. And there's 2 from Hunter. 66-52 Hawks. 9 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the third. There's a game that should be getting underway any moment now. And that is Brooklyn at Boston. That one tipping off right about now. And then in about an hour from Dallas, it's the Clippers and the Mavs. Dallas with a 2-0 lead in that series. And the Hawks come away with a steal. Capella goes up and gets fouled midair. Braves Mets will be playing as scheduled tomorrow night, 7:15. And we know Bone Crusher has that one for you. Ball is on the floor right now, and there's a little bit of a scrum. Let's see who came away with a fumble. And it looks like it's going to be Knicks' ball. And what about this comeback by Derrick Rose? This guy is now a KG veteran, and he's been getting it done for New York. In fact, he's got 15 tonight and is their leading scorer. Hawks miss a long 2, and then the Knicks come away with it. Knicks for 3. No good. Rebound, Hawks. Bogdanovich with the board, and he takes it up court. Don't tell me Trae's going to shoot it from there. He did not. It ends up being another patented floater in the lane that goes for Trae Young. That is his shot. 68-52. Hawks up by 16. Randall for three. Misses. Hawks come away with it. Nice pass over to John Collins for three. His shot in and out, and the Knicks with the rebound. Game 4 is Sunday, 1 o'clock on ABC. Rose downtown, and that shot goes. 3 points for the Knicks. 66. Check that. It's 68-55 Atlanta. Another runner in the lane from Trae Young, and another basket. And let's face it, his hair is looking rough. I mean, he's almost at the point where he should probably think about just shaving it off. Knicks missed their little jump shot, and the Hawks come away with it. Hawks up by 15. I like that. And there is a foul, and it is on the Knicks. Appreciate the likes. Hit me up with a like if you haven't done that yet. Do me a solid there. Subscribe, especially if you're a Braves fan or a Hawks fan. I do a lot more baseball than I do basketball. In fact, tonight was supposed to be a dual live reaction with both New York teams going up against both Atlanta teams. Unfortunately, did not work out that way due to Mother Nature. So we have a timeout in this game. I'm going to step aside and be right back in about 2 and 2. we have some breaking news from the Atlanta Braves camp, and it's not good news. Marcell Ozuna is expected to miss 6 weeks. He fractured his middle and ring fingers on his left hand sliding into third base Wednesday night. So he is on the injured list for about 6 weeks. The Braves are recalling Johan Camargo from AAA Gwinnett. Ungood. And Rose with a floater that goes. We're back, and it's 70-57 Hawks on top. And Gibby, in case you also didn't hear, there seems to be some question. We can't really figure out if Soroka is going to be out for the rest of the year or not. It's not looking good, but Snitker came out and said that Soroka was going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks, whatever that means. So we've got 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Hawks up by 15. That's going to be a foul. And it's going to be on New York. So the Knicks are at the line, shooting 2. Brooklyn is all over Boston right now in the first quarter. It's the Nets 19, the Celtics 4. Second one goes. It's 72-59. Trae Young, this time his floater doesn't go, and the Knicks come away with it. Three-point attempt for New York. Falls short. Atlanta grabs the rebound. Trae Young has 18 points. John Collins 12. And DeAndre Hunter with 11. Appreciate the 7 likes. And, a thumbs down.
Here comes.
There's a lot of haters out there. Could it be one of Goose's crew? Knicks missed their attempt. Hawks come away with the ball. We've got 4:20 remaining here in the third. We're in Atlanta. We're tied 1-1 in this series. And hell of a reverse layup. Bogdanovich. We'll check some scores around baseball. We can report that Boston and Miami are tied up at 2 in the 5th inning. The Yankees and the Tigers tied at 1 in the 6th inning. Toronto 6, Cleveland 2. 5th inning, we've got a rain delay in Chicago, where the Orioles and White Sox are trying to get underway from Guaranteed Rate Stadium on the south side of Chicago. 3rd inning in Minnesota, where the Twins and Royals are scoreless. Also scoreless, San Diego at Houston in the 2nd inning. We had all kinds of games postponed. The game in Pittsburgh has been postponed. The game in Washington has been postponed. The game in New York has been postponed. And Hawks still up by 15. 4 minutes to go now, third period. Still some games on the schedule later tonight. The Angels are playing at Ring Central Stadium in Oakland. That's a 9:40 start. St. Louis at Arizona, same time. And then we've got a couple of 10 o'clock starts. San Francisco at the Dodgers, and Texas at Seattle. Knicks with the ball. 3.5 to go, and the ball is out of bounds right now, and it's going to belong to the Knicks. Braves at Mets, 7:15 tomorrow night. Ian Anderson for the Braves against Tawan Walker for the Mets. And according to Bone Crusher, we've got a death cross on the Bitcoin charts. We did not want to see that. All of my cryptos are going the wrong way. I'm down 25%. Bogdanovich puts it up for 3, and it goes. Hawks up 79-63. 3 minutes to go in the third. Atlanta, 11 from 18 from downtown. We'll take that any day of the week. And we've got a foul called on Atlanta. And it looks like we've got a timeout on the floor in Atlanta, so we're going to step aside, take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more exciting Atlanta Hawks action. I am A-Bomb. Hang tight. There was supposed to be they were kind of acting like it was going to be a sellout in State Farm Arena tonight in Atlanta, but I'm seeing a bunch of empty seats. And they've got a lot of it blocked off, too. Like, they've got the tarp over half the seats. It does not look like they're prepared for 100% capacity, even though the state of Georgia itself says it's okay to have full capacity at any kind of big sporting event right now. And Bogdanovich, off the glass, kisses it, banks it home. And Atlanta up 81-66, 2 minutes, 11 seconds. Third quarter. Knicks with it. Randall dribbles. Takes it in, gets hammered. And that'll send him to the line. The Upside Down Tent event is still going on. In fact, I saw a commercial earlier today that said it's been extended all the way through June. That's at Landmark Dodge, the Georgia Giant. But yeah, man, if an Upside Down 10 event and all the craziness and zaniness that goes on with that sounds like your kind of thing, might be a good Memorial Day weekend thing to take the family. They've got balloons and hot dogs for the kids. And Bone Crusher, he's been in a few car dealership big-time events in his time. And the Hawks with it. And there's a foul. Looks like it's going to be on the Knicks. Hawks are up 81-68, under 2 to go in the third quarter. Bacon Chevrolet in Milledgeville, boy. Bogdanovich puts it up, misses, and gets his own tip. And it's good. Gets his own offensive rebound and puts it right back. It's supposed to cool down a little bit for tomorrow. So this could be a good time to give you the Metro Atlanta 3-day forecast. Let's do it. Give me just a second to get ready. So, looks like we've got some rain coming up here. In fact, like there's a big alert on my phone right now. A 99% chance of rain at 9 o'clock, which is right now. I don't think it's raining right now, but I'll go check on that in a minute. So it looks like we're going to have rain and thunderstorms all night long across the Metro Atlanta area. 62 for the overnight low, and then considerably cooler tomorrow. Saturday's high just 73 under partly cloudy skies. Sunday's high 75, and then Monday, Memorial Day, sunshine and 82. Right now in Lawrenceville, it's 62. In Sewanee, 64. And right here in the heart of Gwinnett County, right off Interstate 85, it is 63 degrees at 9:03. And the New York Knicks are at the line right now. We're under 1 minute to go in the third. And we're going to check the Northwest Florida forecast in just a little while. In fact, that's coming up in the fourth quarter. Second one misses for the Knicks, and the Hawks come away with the rebound, up by 14. 43 seconds to go in the third. Herter from way downtown, and it goes. Wow. That was from, really, he should not have taken a three that far out, but he took it and he got it, and it's 86-69 Hawks. 22 seconds to go. About a 7-second difference in the two clocks. And there's a whistle and a foul. And that's going to be a foul against Bogdanovich with 17.8 to go. And that was a foul away from the ball. And Doris Burke says, I don't see where the foul was. I agree with her. Let's check some scores around baseball, and there's been a change, and it's a good one. The Red Sox now have a 3-run lead. It's Boston 5 and Miami 2 in the 5th inning. We definitely want the Marlins to lose. And that is the only National League East game in action right now. From way downtown, Atlanta misses that 3. And that is going to be it for the 3rd quarter. So, one more to go. Got to hold them right here. What was it, 2 days ago? The Hawks had a comfortable lead and ended up blowing it to the Knicks. Cannot have that happen tonight at home. All of the exciting 4th quarter action coming your way next on Coast to Coast. We are back, and it is the fourth quarter in Atlanta. We've got your Panama City Beach 3-day forecast coming up in just a moment. And Knicks miss another three. And I like the way this thing is shaping up. 89-72, Hawks on top. Follow me on Twitter at abomb98. The 98 is meaningless. It was one of those situations where I couldn't just be A-bomb, right? There were a bunch of other those, and I think 98 was the only two-digit number that I could get. If I didn't take that, it would have had to have been like A-bomb and then 3 digits. So that's what that's all about. And the Knicks make one and pull to within 15 with 10:51 left. It's Hawks 89, Knicks 74. AMC got as high as 35 today. And Crush will be going over all of that tomorrow on your weekly crypto and stock market recap. So we promised you a Panama City Beach weekend forecast. Let's get it. 60% chance of rain tonight. Down on the Emerald Coast. Overnight low of 72. For tomorrow, partly cloudy and hot. High of 86. Sunday, nothing but sunshine. High of 83. Memorial Day, another beautiful day on tap. Very slight chance of rain Monday with a high in PCB of 85. Right now it's 77 in Boniface, 76 in Shipley, and at the home of the world's most beautiful beaches in Panama City Beach, it is 78. And a steal by New York, and they come the other way with it. And ball out of bounds. Who does it belong to? I still don't know the answer to that just yet. And so the ball does belong to the Knicks. They inbound it. I hear thunder in the distance, by the way. And there is a New York Knicks basket. And that's Derrick Rose. And it's a 14-point game. 9 minutes, 18 seconds to go in regulation. Speaking of the Bonifay Rec Center, I hope you guys got over there for the big benefit wrestling tournament that took place. Mr. Florida Wrestling number 2 was on hand and is all for a very worthy cause. And there's a foul. And this one appears to be on Atlanta. And I can confirm we are about to get some rain, just like that alert said on my phone. From way downtown, Knicks missed that three-pointer, and the Hawks come away with the rebound. Trae Young, once again with his patented move in the lane. That is his shot. He owns that. And, man, when he has that shot working, it is unstoppable. Same shot he hit Sunday night to win Game 1 for Atlanta up there in Madison Square. Mr. 850. Yes. And Hawks with it. Kevin Huerter launches a three. Short. Derrick Rose comes away with the rebound. It is raining really hard here. And alley-oop. And nicely executed by the Knicks. And it looks like Nate McMillan has seen enough for Atlanta and would like to call a timeout and talk it over and settle down the troops. We got to win this one, and it's looking pretty good right now, but it ain't over yet. We'll be right back. More Atlanta Hawks basketball straight ahead. We are back. And we have 8 minutes to go in regulation. Hawks up 94-80. I want to talk a minute about Joey the Truth Wagner. That son of a gun has like 7,500 subscribers. And he has perhaps the worst audio setup of any YouTuber I've seen. The camera. And there's a three, by the way, for Atlanta. It is 94. Check it. It is 97-80. Hawks are 15 out of 25 from behind the arc. Joey the Truth Wagner. He's got his camera, and I think the microphone must be on the camera. Both of those things are like maybe 10 or 15 feet away from Joey. And so you're just hearing this really shitty echo. And I don't understand, like, how he got so popular. I'm just hating right now is what it is. I can't even get to 400 subs, and this dude, he's got me beat by like 20-fold. Maybe it's that prayer screen, or maybe it's that ad space he rents out on the big screen on the wall with the electric cord running right down the middle of the wall. But if Joey could just get a decent microphone set up, it would improve his stream enormously. So Trae Young with the ball. Hawks up by 17. Trae has a wide open shot, and he's not able to make that one. He was too wide open. New York must have gotten partially blocked on that one. And everything is going the Hawks' way right now. Next game is Sunday afternoon at 1. Broadcast nationwide on ABC. Let's see if we can get you some stats from this here game. So Trae Young leads all scorers for both teams. Check that, he does not. But he does lead the Hawks with 20 points. However, Derrick Rose has 24 for New York. There's a nice alley-oop executed by the Knicks. Triple nickels. There is 5:55 left. Yes, Joey is still renting out the big screen. Your ad goes here, or he will occasionally get a prayer request up on the big board.
Kept alive and Herder controls.
John Collins puts up a 2. It does not go. And New York comes away with a rebound.
Through the contact, though, and he says, quickly too little.
Boston up 47-43 on Brooklyn in the second quarter. And in about half an hour from Dallas, the Clippers and the Mavericks will get underway. Dallas has a 2-0 series lead.
It really changes the equation for.
Might as well check some baseball scores. This, after all, was supposed to be a baseball stream. But Braves Mets were postponed, as well as several other games on the East Coast. Games in action. The Red Sox have a 5-2 lead on the Marlins in the 6th inning. Yankees and Tigers still tied at 1. And Crusher said he hears some audio.
It's the type of ball that.
Yeah, that happens sometimes when I put it on ESPN. I'll have to close this out in just a moment. But let me give you the rest of the scores really quick. Blue Jays up 9-2 on the Indians in the 6th inning. Twins have a 1-0 lead on Kansas City in the 5th. Padres won. Houston Astros nothing in the 3rd inning. And then we've got a final. The Cubbies beat the Reds. We hate to hear that. We are a big, big, big Cincinnati house here on Coast to Coast. And we always root for the Reds unless they happen to be playing the Braves. We've just hit 5 minutes to go, and the Hawks are up by 12. New York with the ball. Not time to relax just yet. Nice miss, though, by New York, and Atlanta comes away with a rebound. There were a total of 4 games postponed in the major leagues today due to rain, including the Braves and Mets. Also postponed, Rockies at Pirates, Brewers at Nationals, and the Baltimore Orioles at Guaranteed Rate Stadium in Chicago, where the O's and the Pale Hose were going to play. That game will be made up in the month of August. There's a long three by Atlanta. Splash. And Trae Young is flying around like a bird or something. I'm not sure what that little move was, but it was nice. And we see Spike Lee has made it to Atlanta, and he's got a front row seat. And he must be hating every minute of this, and I love that. Bogdanovich was actually the player that just hit that three. That was not Trae Young. And so the Hawks are back up by 15. We've got a timeout on the floor in Atlanta, and I will be right back with more Braves. Check that, with more Hawks and Knicks action straight ahead. I just saw a TV ad for Applebee's, and it made me realize that I have not been to an Applebee's or a TGI Fridays or TJ McFunsters, any of those places I haven't been to in a couple of years due to COVID. And I don't know if I'll ever go back. The last few times I went to any of those places, whether it was, all of them, Chili's, TGI Fridays, Applebee's, all those places have been really disappointing the last few times I've been to them. So I'm okay with never setting foot in another Applebee's. I think I'm okay with that. And if you're old enough like me, if you remember how Applebee's came on the scene in the early 90s in small town America, it was such a big deal back then. There was a time where those places were considered big city type joints. Like, they had all those places right around Atlanta back in the 80s. But it took a while for them to get out to the smaller towns. And by the time they did, it was such a huge deal, man. I remember when Gainesville got Applebee's, and that was some big time stuff. But now they're the butt of all kinds of jokes. Nobody takes Applebee's seriously anymore. But believe me, there was a time when that was the hot place to be. Same thing with Ruby Tuesdays. All those things exploded in the 90s. And so Knicks have it. You might hear some thunder in the background. Home of the extreme jalapeno poppers and Flair. 187. There are 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. And we understand that Doge is checking in at this hour at 31.8 cents. Nice alley-oop, Hawks. Clint Capella throwing it down with authority. I was watching ESPN in the first half. I decided to tune it to the local guys. Much better broadcast with Dominique Wilkins and Bob Rathbun than the ESPN crew. Crusher's having some coffee and kratom. I'm having some coffee right now myself. Again, in the Q106 mug. If you live anywhere near Middle Georgia, you know about Q106, Middle Georgia's home of rock and roll and home of the Q106 six-pack. I've got some kind of YouTube alert on my phone. Let's see what this could be. Okay, somebody liked a comment I left on a video for Information Society. Pure Energy. Just past 9:30 here in Metro Atlanta. And we are probably going to be wrapping up a Hawks victory here over the next few minutes. There's 2:34 remaining in the game. 15-foot jump shot goes for New York. That gives them 89. Thanks for everybody who has stuck around with us tonight. Again, a lot of people, when they see me go live, are looking for baseball action. Nice alley-oop again. The Hawks are just toying with them now. 104.89. Rejected by Capella. Keckerman is back. If the Braves are forced to change their mascot. God, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a possibility, right? The Cleveland Indians, or actually, what happened with the Cleveland Indians? They were supposed to make some kind of big announcement, but I don't think I ever caught the announcement. But as far as I know, they're still the Cleveland Indians. They did get rid of Chief Wahoo, their longtime mascot, that smiling Indian with the feather. But that's been gone for a few years. Chief Wahoo hasn't been seen or heard from in a long time. And we've got 1:30 left. Hawks and Knicks players are jawing at each other on the floor. The crowd is loving every minute of it. This entire State Farm Arena crowd is on its feet. Kecker, I hate that Atlanta bird theme. No, I don't. I hope they don't do that. That's lame. And if you recall, the Thrashers were another bird-themed team. Just saw an article today, and I couldn't believe this when I saw it. It has been 10 years since the Atlanta Thrashers left town. So that means it was about 20 years since they came to Atlanta. They only stuck around for like 12 years, something like that. It just did not work. Hockey in Atlanta apparently is not a draw. They couldn't get anybody to watch it on TV. and nobody went to the games. I went to one. I went to one Thrashers game. It was pretty cool. It's too bad they couldn't stay around. But truth be told, I never watched them. After that first year, they were never worth a damn. That was part of the problem. Trae Young from way downtown misses it. New York comes to the other end and looks like some Atlanta defense. And not sure exactly just what went down there, but Hawks players are demanding some kind of video review. Not sure about what. But I haven't really heard any talk about the Braves potentially having to change their name. I guess we'll cross that bridge if we get there. Now, I do know that we're getting rid, or we have gotten rid, of the tomahawk, as far as I understand, on the Braves logo. I don't think the official Braves logo has a tomahawk anymore. And I'm not clear on the tomahawk chop, like if that's still encouraged at the games. You know, for the last 30 years when you go to Braves games, they're always playing the tomahawk chop music, and then everybody does their thing. I don't know if they've quit playing the music. Of course, I did not attend any games last year because you couldn't. I do plan on going to some games this year as early as next month, maybe. And I will report back on exactly what's up with the tomahawk chop. Hawks with it. We are now officially at 1 minute to go. DeAndre Hunter takes it in, and he is fouled in the process. They keep showing Spike Lee. He's wearing a mask, so I didn't realize who this was until they put his name up on the screen. Of course, Spike Lee, a longtime New York Knicks fan. He became a big fixture on those early 90s Knicks teams that battled Chicago and never could get past the Bulls back then. That was the team with Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Charles Oakley. That was a fun team to watch. They are very physical, and that was, to me, peak NBA. That's when the NBA was at its best, in my opinion. It really depends on how old you are as to what your favorite era is. So we've got 9 seconds left. Knicks are not going to foul. And now we've got a whistle, and there's 7 seconds to go. And this crowd is loving every minute of it. Yeah, I'll start the chop if they don't do it. And this game has gone final from Atlanta. And it's what we wanted to see. Atlanta 105, New York 94. Hawks now take a 2-1 series lead. And what I still haven't figured out yet is if it's a best of 5 series or is this a best of 7 series. The first round used to be 5, best of 5, but I want to say that I heard somewhere that it's now a best of 7. But I do not know the answer to that. Does anybody know? You know what? I'm about to find out. I'm about to find out what the deal is. It might take me just a second, but I'm about to get there. And tonight's Budweiser player of the game is Trae Young for Atlanta. 21 points, 14 assists, and only 1 rebound. So he did not get a triple-double. Okay, this is a best-of-7 series. There is no more best-of-5 series in the NBA playoffs. And so that is that. Next game, Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. The game will be on ABC from Atlanta. And then after that, it's Wednesday, then Friday, and then Sunday. I like it. There aren't any really long layoffs in that schedule. Sometimes you'll watch some NBA playoffs, and they'll go like 4 days between games. That is uncalled for and completely redonk. It is halftime in Boston, where the Celtics are up 61-57 on the Brooklyn Nets. And then one more game coming up, and it will be tipping off any moment from Dallas. The Mavericks and Clippers are about to get it on. Dallas with a 2-0 series lead. Let's shift over to baseball. And we will check all of the scores around baseball. And there's a rain delay in Boston where the Red Sox have a 5-2 lead over the Miami Marlins. That game is official in case they call it. Top of the 8th in Detroit, where the Yankees and Tigers are tied at 1. Toronto is hammering Cleveland right now. It's the 6th inning, and the Blue Jays are up 11-2 on the Tribe. Kansas City 3, Minnesota 1 in the 5th inning. Houston has taken a 2-1 edge over San Diego, 4th inning. Just underway from Ring Central Stadium in Oakland, where the Angels and A's are scoreless. The Cardinals and Diamondbacks scoreless in the first. We've got a final from Chicago, where the Cubbies won this afternoon. They beat the Reds 1-0. Colorado and Pittsburgh were postponed. Milwaukee and Washington postponed. Baltimore and the White Sox were postponed. And we know that Atlanta and the Mets were postponed. Atlanta, scheduled tomorrow night, 7:15 is the first pitch. Bone Crusher will be bringing you that reaction tomorrow, along with plenty of other stock market tidbits for you. Later tonight, the Dodgers host the Giants in that big rivalry series. And then the Mariners are hosting the Texas Rangers with a 10-10 first pitch in about half an hour. So I guess that'll do it. Man, it's been fun on a Friday night. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me for the last couple hours. And kind of bearing with me doing basketball reaction. You know, it's a little different than baseball, right? It's a different pace. But you know what? We try hard and we have fun and we get by. And so, A-Bomb, gonna get out of here on a Friday night and enjoy the rest of this rainy Friday evening. And maybe listen to some music, enjoy some tunes, catch one, and then get ready for the big 3-day weekend. So long from Metro Atlanta on a Friday night, where the Hawks are winners over the New York Knicks, 105-94. Hawks take a 2-1 series lead in this best of 7 series. I will see you on the next one. A-Bomb out on a Friday night.